News just coming in, the Premier of New South Wales in Australia has issued a statement to reassure the Indian community after the brutal murder of an Indian techie in Sydney. The Premier of New South Wales, Mike Baird, said he's reassured the Indian Counsel General that no stone will be left unturned to bring Prabha Kumar's killers to book. The Ministry of External Affairs has also tweeted how closely they're tracking developments in this murder investigation. The Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin said that India's Counsel General has been deployed to pursue probe developments.
A footpath so commonly used, the setting of a disturbing murder. Prabha Arun, a mother and family breadwinner, knifed to death as she walked home from work.
I mean, the scream, sounded intense. You know, that crying scream thing, it didn't sound normal.
Local Lavanda Miriam tried in vain to save the 41-year-old's life.
There was blood covering her face, her neck, her chest. Her chest wasn't even moving, so that's when I assumed, she was gone.
Despite emergency surgery, she died just hours later.
We live right here, as you can see, and we usually walk through that park every day.
Sorry, it's really bad.
Prabha had just finished working late as an IT consultant. She left the Parramatta train station, walked Argyle Street, then Park Parade before taking the footpath next to the golf course, attacked just metres from home just before 9:30 last night.
She works long hours, and that's all I heard. And the family is back in India. She's married and she got a husband there.
In the cruelest of twists, Prabha was speaking to her husband on the phone when she was set upon. She was due to fly home to him and her 10-year-old daughter in June after 3 years apart. A best friend she stayed with told 9 News Prabha was a really hard-working, beautiful person and most importantly, a loving mother. I hope God gives the family enough strength to endure this pain. She prayed every week at her local temple. Now loved ones are praying those responsible are caught.
It's a horrific attack without any stretch of the imagination, and certainly my heartfelt condolences go out to the family at this point in time, and we'll certainly be working with the family.
Now, Prabha Arun Kumar was murdered just 300 meters away from her home. She was talking to her husband on the phone line at that point of time, and what we're now being told is that Mike Baird, the MP, the Premier of New South Wales, he has spoken to the Indian Counsel General in Sydney and has said that the strike force will use every resource available to bring the perpetrators of this horrific crime to justice. Joining me now with the latest is headlines today is Smita Sharma. Smita, what more do we know of the investigations? Do we know who the perpetrator was and the motive for the crime?
Well, the crime really hasn't been defined so far, Gaurav. Whether the police are looking at it really just as a law and order situation-related crime, or are they looking at it as a racist attack? But clearly, the Indian government, of course, is in touch with local authorities there. Okay. In fact, Mrs. Sushma Swaraj is believed to be monitoring the situation.
Smita, I want to quickly bring in Syed Akbaruddin, the spokesperson for the Ministry of External Affairs. Sir, what more can you tell us about investigations in this case, sir?
Gaurav, right now the investigations are underway. What I can share with you is that our consulate has been proactively engaged with the Australian government on this. Our Consul General has talked to the Premier of New South Wales. We are also working with the other ministries concerned. This morning, the husband of Mrs. Kumar, Miss Arun Kumar, who is in Sydney, had a discussion with our Consul General. We are working on all fronts to try and assist him in all manner possible. This is a really difficult time for them, and the External Affairs Minister herself has been in touch with the Consul General in Sydney and is monitoring the situation. So on all fronts, we are trying to assist Mr. Arun Kumar in as many ways as possible.
Mr. Akbaruddin, is this an isolated incident or could other Indians also be at risk in Sydney?
Gaurav, we have to understand that there is a large Indian community in Australia and in Sydney too. they have extremely good and cordial relations with other communities there. As you've seen, the New South Wales Premier himself has put out a media release on how they value the relationship of the Indian community with others. At this stage, let the investigation run its normal course, and we will have an outcome. It's not proper for us to speculate from here what could be the motives of this sad attack.
Syed Akbaruddin, the spokesperson for the Ministry of External Affairs, many thanks for joining me here on Headlines Today.